Hello and welcome everybody. I'm Sergio. We're here for yet another video recap lecture. This time recap is for the written lecture titled using bid adjustments effectively. I'm going to go ahead and dive right into it, guys. We are in a AdWords account right now for one of our clients that does a service on specialty disability products like wheelchairs, scooters. They do ramp installations on vehicles, wheelchair lifts for vehicles and things like that. And I'm going to go ahead and show you pretty much how bid adjustments work for locations, scheduling, and devices. You can basically make bid adjustments across an entire campaign to basically offer more than what you're offering at the keyword and ad group level for certain things like specific locations, specific device types, and specific days of the week, hours of the day, etc. Since these things that we're talking about, locations, scheduling options, and device bid adjustments are all set at the campaign level, it's important to note that you have to kind of look at your settings from the all campaigns view to understand which of your campaigns on this table here have specific locations broken down. It's not going to work if you just have the United States as a whole. You know, you want to have multiple locations to bid on certain ones a little bit differently. Same thing with your schedule. If you're showing ads at all times, you're going to have to build a custom ad schedule with certain hours of the day to bid higher during those certain hours of the day or days of the week. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of drill into one specific campaign here. We'll go to the wheelchair repairs campaign, and we're still on the settings tab. So if we look at the all settings default page that we're brought to, you can see that there are quite a few different cities within Florida that this client is targeting. There is also a custom schedule, which is basically Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 11:45 p.m. So if we're on the settings tab and we navigate to any one of these three buttons here, locations, ad schedule, or devices, we can start to see bid adjustments for those locations, schedules, or device types. So let's start off with locations. Here are the different locations that we're targeting for this campaign. And I believe they're the same across every single one because, you know, as a business as a whole, he wants to target the same exact locations. So just looking at all of these, we could see the location name in the table and then the bid adjustment, which is right now not set for each one. But let's say we wanted to increase bids whenever a visitor is in Boca Raton, Florida by 5%. We can choose to do that, and any bid that you have, it even shows you here at $10 as an example, will then become $10.50. So any keywords or default bids that are set at the ad group level, campaign level, will increase according to what this bid adjustment is set at, as long as that searcher or potential customer is searching from Boca Raton, Florida. We can do the same thing for many cities here and kind of get better positioning and market share in certain locations that we know are providing us with better traffic. How do we know if certain locations are providing us with better traffic? Well, we did have a Google Analytics report example where it showed you how you can dive into certain accounts and pull that type of information depending on what it is you do. So we can quickly show you how to pull that up again. You log into Google Analytics, go to your audience tab, go to geo, and then location. Location will show you things like which countries first at the top level are giving you traffic and how that traffic is performing. It has the conversions already set here in this account, so we could see that United States is doing pretty well. We'll dive into that and then start to see which states are bringing us better conversion rates, better bounce rates, higher pages per session, and average visitor durations, so on and so forth. You can continue to drill down into the state, and then you'll see a breakdown of the cities. And you could sort by conversion rate to see which cities are providing you with the best traffic. In some cases, certain cities provide you with a much better conversion rate than others. So this is where you can kind of start to analyze that data and with educated decisions, start to play with your bid adjustments for locations. So let me go back here. We're on the locations tab, and I've showed you how we can set the bid adjustments at the location level. You can lower your bid adjustment to say -5, decrease by 5%, and that will work as well. So kind of some flexibility here in the way you bid based off of the location. You can also look at certain campaign performance points, such as location using AdWords, by going to the segment. And I believe, let's see here. Oh, actually, let's see here. I think we have to go into a certain ad group to segment by location. No, actually, I don't believe location is actually something that's available. View, here it is, geographic. So you have to be on the dimensions tab. I apologize, folks. And you will be able to see the location data and performance of certain locations inside of your AdWords account. So that's something to keep in mind. You can actually see location data in AdWords as well, but not really website behavior, visitor behavior rather, things like time on site and whatever other useful metrics you like to use inside of Google Analytics that aren't available in AdWords. So again, navigate to dimensions, and you can view geographic location here to see how your locations are performing, as far as click-through rates, average cost per conversion, your average positioning, so on and so forth. So going back to the settings tab to look at our your bid adjustment options here, the locations, ad schedules, and devices. Now that we know how these work, you can feel free to set your bid adjustments, and then after collecting a few weeks worth of data, come back, see if they've proven to be effective here by looking at the number of hits you've gotten from these bid adjustments being set. You could also, of course, go back to the dimensions, look at the locations, and see how they're performing for you. Now let's take a look at the ad scheduling options. Again, if you have your ads showing at all time, it's not really going to be helpful for you because you need to have certain segmented times frames or days of the week that have these different timings or hours of operation or hours of your account running. You will have these broken down list items that you can, just like the location settings, click on the bid adjustment section here and decide how much you want to increase it by or decrease it by for that given segmented time frame that you've set. So if you have a Monday through Friday setup similar to this, you can maybe bid on Wednesdays a little bit higher. Now, if you wanted to start making this a little bit more granular, say for example, putting a different time frame by segmenting Monday into 2 time frames or 3 even, you can set a Monday from say 8 a.m. to 11:45 a.m., then create another schedule for it to run from 8 a.m. I'm sorry, Monday at 12 noon till 5 o'clock, let's just say, if you wanted to have a different set of bid adjustments applied to that mid part of Monday from 12 to 5 p.m. And if you wanted to resume just a regular segment of the day from 5 p.m. to, let's say, 11 p.m. at night, where your bids kind of can be a little bit different than they are from 12 to 5 because you have that lunch midday rush. If you're in a big industrial or in a heavy populated city like New York City, you probably get a lot of visitors and people looking for places to eat around lunchtime and throughout the rest of the day when people take their lunch break at certain times from 12 to 5. So that's kind of one way to do it. And to segment it, all you would have to do is create a different ad schedule here. Say, since you have a Monday from 8 a.m. to 11:45 p.m., you would probably want to change this to 11:45 a.m. and then add another day here that is, let's see here, since we actually have the option here to do Monday through Friday. You can actually just, instead of having this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday set up, let me get rid of that, put on a Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to, let's see here, 11:45 a.m. And we'll add another Monday through Friday to start at 12 p.m. We'll run that till, let's say, 3 p.m. for the lunch rush, which is a little bit more, I think, relevant to what might actually happen in real life in a restaurant style business in New York. Then we can apply the final day segment from, say, 3:15 p.m. until, let's just say, 10 p.m. So now we've got 3 segmented time frames for Monday through Friday: 8 a.m. to 11:45 a.m., which is the morning shift, let's just call it; 12 p.m. to 3 p.m., which is that hot rush hour or lunch hour rush time frame; and then the last part of the day, which is 3:15 p.m. to 10 p.m., which we can then have a different bid setting for if we wanted to. So this will look a little bit different. Let's go ahead and hit save here. And now look what we have. So we have 3 Monday segments, 3 Tuesday segments, 3 Wednesday, 3 Thursday, and 3 Friday segments where we can apply our different bid schedules, our bid adjustments, I'm sorry. So again, if from noon to 3 is your rush hour and you want to increase your bids by, let's say, 20% at that point in time of the day for the Monday from noon to 3, you can do that just like this. And let's say in the morning, it's really not that great. You don't have a large breakfast menu, so you just want to do maybe a 5% bid adjustment. And let's just say from 3:15 to 10 p.m., you want to do a 10% bid adjustment. There you have it. So now we have in the morning time, the bid adjustments are actually, I meant to put increase by 5%, but let's say you want it to decrease because in the morning you're having some of your budget being spent that you don't really want to. So let's actually put a negative 10%. Let's go with that example. So now in the morning time on Monday, your bids are going to go down. So you're probably not going to get as many clicks for those expensive keywords, or, for some keywords that you just may not have the high enough bid to reach the top of the page for. You're going to slow down your traffic at that time. From noon to 3 p.m. now, you're going to accelerate your traffic and your positions are going to go up. And then from 3:15 p.m. to 10 p.m., it's going to be a bit accelerated, but not as much as that noon to 3 p.m. You can then, follow through by copying the same pattern here for each day of the week. Or if you notice that according to your dimension reports, certain times of the day are providing you with better traffic than others, then you can, set different bid adjustments for each day. But this is just kind of an overview and a rundown of how these bid adjustment settings are set. And I believe in the dimensions, you can go to time, day of the week, hour, and start to see, what hours of the day are providing you with better quality traffic and ad performance. So kind of take a look at that. You can see the hours of the day. Let's see here, hour of the day being 8 o'clock, here being 14, which is 2 p.m. Those are the last 2 clicks that we got. Let's open this up, 30 days. And here are the different hours. 9 p.m. doesn't really seem to get us much at all. So we have 8, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth. So this is one way to look at it. And if you refer back to the Google Analytics, track using historical data lecture, you'll know how to also pull up time reports and day reports with Google Analytics. The last thing that I want to go over is the device type bid adjustments, which is fairly simple. There's only one option here. You can increase or decrease your bids for mobile devices. If you don't have a mobile-friendly website, let's just say you couldn't really afford to, with your startup business, redesign the website so that it's mobile-friendly, you can drop the bid here by 20 or 30%, or even 50% if you really want to be safe, so that you're not showing at all for people with mobile devices. You can do so right here. If you put it at 100% negative, I'm pretty sure that's going to block your chances or possibility of ever showing for anything. So that's something you can do to kind of control your campaigns if you don't have a mobile site, which hopefully you do, because it's going to be very hard to compete without one nowadays. So this is pretty much a run through of how bid adjustments work. I hope you've enjoyed, and until next time.